Hello, welcome to Radio Bravery Live. I'm your host, Justin Bellshaw. We've got Fleetwood Mac bringing us in with a little more than rumors. We've got facts here on Radio Bravery Live. We've got the truth, and we've got bravery behind us. Our websites are youtube.com/RadioBravery, facebook.com/RadioBravery, radiobravery.wixsite.com/news, and please subscribe and follow me at Radio Bravery, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Subscribe today. We are at a whopping 15 subscribers, but getting about 300 views away from 2,000 views. Where we may be close to starting monetization process here at Radio Bravery Live, making a little money. Capitalism, you know, it's a horrible thing. But yeah, this is Radio Bravery Live, youtube.com/Radio Bravery. We are live right now. It is Monday, May 15th, 2017, and we've got oodles of news to cover. Let's start with this one from theamericanmirror.com. This is entitled, Impeach Maxine Waters Street Art Appears Near Inglewood Town Hall Meeting. Not so friendly street art greeted California Congresswoman and possibly mental retard patient Maxine Waters to an Inglewood Town Hall meeting on Saturday. Famed artist Sabo posted several works around the venue and posted photos of his unsavory agent's Facebook page. A bench sign highlighted the Time magazine report this week that President Trump gets 2 scoops of ice cream while White House guests receive 1. And so we've got this bench bus stop sign that these activists have put up all around the town hall meeting where Maxine Waters is going to be wheeled out in a wheelbarrow or a wheelchair or something like that. And then I believe they have some type of mental or electric plugs they hook up to her brain to get it working again, so she is then the puppet master starts talking through her or something like that. That's what she was going to do at the town hall meeting, I believe. But anyway, this activist is putting up signs like 2 scoops of ice cream is not fair, impeach Trump. That's a quote from Maxine Waters. But then right behind it we've got impeach Maxine Waters signs also with it's pretty funny. It says impeach Maxine Waters, race baiter, old and out of touch poverty pimp, end this abusive marriage by divorcing yourselves from the Democratic Party. Give Maxine a piece of your mind. Saturday, May 13th, 2017, Inglewood Sanctuary High Auditorium. Important issues facing us in 2017. These are Maxine Waters' Plan A. Impeach Trump. Blame Whitey for everything. Added funding for Planned Parenthood. Increase illegal aliens for more votes. And here's Maxine Waters' Plan B's on this activist poster that was put up on a bus stop. Plan B, blame Whitey. Plan B, blame Whitey for everything. Plan B, blame Whitey for everything. Dindu Newfin. Yeah, this is really, really funny. I just love to see. They also put up signs on the street signs there. Impeach Maxine Waters and illegals hurt blacks. And this is just awesome to see people standing up. Then there's a video on this article here at theamericanmirror.com of the only Trump supporter wearing just a Trump t-shirt, very polite, just sitting there quietly. He's even got a jacket on over his shirt. You can barely even see the Trump logo. And everybody in the town hall is screaming at him, "Get out! Get out! Go back to England! And Irish too! Go back to where you came from!" You know, I thought you fucking moron social justice warriors wanted immigrants to come to our fucking country. But you want to go around and yell at people wearing Trump supporting shirts that they need to leave the country, that they need to go back to where they came from. I thought you wanted people to come here. I thought that you were about immigration. I thought that you took the stance to support immigrants. But no, you want to yell hatefully at people that disagree with you to go back to where they came from. You hypocrite dumbass. So please go and watch this video. Trump supporters tossed from Maxine Waters' town hall. when fucking idiots tell them to tell this Trump supporter to go back where he came from, go back to Europe, go back to Ireland and England. What the fuck are you talking about? Because you see a white person, you're gonna yell at them, go back to Europe, go back to Ireland? Who the fuck would get away with yelling, go back to Africa or go back to Mexico? No one. But it's okay for you, for these racist pieces of garbage, to yell racist things at white people because they have a Trump shirt on. No, it's not okay. It's pure hypocrisy, and you make yourselves look like fucking morons. Let's move to this next one right here from a little bit of pro-Trump news. S&P and NASDAQ close at record highs after oil and tech rise. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ composite closed at record highs Monday after a rise in tech and oil prices. The S&P climbed about 0.5% with materials leading advancers. Energy was also among the best performers after a sharp rise in crude prices. West Texas Intermediate futures spiked 2.11% to settle at $48.85 per barrel after the Russian and Saudi energy ministers said the two countries agreed to extend a production cut until March 2018. This is a snapback rally in crude. The rubber band had stretched too long below 55 per barrel. Now we're around 50. And once again, if you go to thedrudgereport.com, you can see the major headline. The top headline is highest market smash records. Yes, and once again, every week we are seeing the NASDAQ, the S&P, everything just climbing, record sales, record numbers. Our country is growing. Our economy is back on its feet again, and this is undeniable. Okay, so for everybody out there who still continues to say Trump hasn't done anything good, this is a flat out lie. We have record-breaking closes for the S&P 500 and NASDAQ almost weekly. Okay, so this is a flat out lie. Stop lying to yourself and just admit the good sides and the bad side. Admit the truth and the facts, and then we can come together in between. Because I'm not a fucking Republican, and I'm not a fucking Democrat, and I'm not a Trump sycophant or an Obama hater. I'm a tool of truth. I am looking for the truth to bring it to you. Knowledge is power. I am here to empower you. You're fucking welcome for taking the information. I gather it. I just go and I look around and I try to find this so that you can see things like this. Scoop: Trump irked at cabinet and staff and mulls a sweeping shakeup. This comes right after Matt Drudge publicly made a Twitter statement to Donald Trump saying that he needs to drain the swamp. He needs to start cleaning house. He needs to get serious. At the urging of longtime friends and outside advisors. Urging of longtime friends and outside advisors. Does that have anything to do with maybe political figures like Matt Drudge, Alex Jones, Roger Stone? Maybe, I don't know. Most of whom he consults after dark. Yeah, because President Trump is up until 11:30 at night or later making phone calls to making personal phone calls on his personal line over and over and over and over again, hundreds of calls a day. He's up all hours of the night making these calls. And it goes on to say here from Axios.com, at the urging of longtime friends and outside advisors, most of whom he consults after dark, President Trump is considering a huge reboot that could take out everyone from Chief of Staff Reince Priebus, and Chief Strategist Steve Bannon to Counsel Don McGahn and Press Secretary Sean Spicer. Trump is also irritated with several cabinet members, sources say. He's frustrated and angry at everyone because he's being blocked. There's an insurrection going on inside the White House of all the lingering Obama losers who can't let go that they lost. Lost in trying to take down our country, and now we're trying to bring it back up. And they just want to be obstructionists. There are so many obstructionists in the White House, and yes, Yes, it says quote here. He's fucking frustrated. He's angry at everyone, said one of his confidants. The conversations intensified this week as the aftermath of the Comey firing pushed the White House from chaos into crisis. Trump's friends are telling him that many of his top aides don't know how to work with him and point out that his approval ratings aren't rising, but the leaks are. The advice he's getting is to go big. He has nothing else to lose, the confidant said. The question now is how big and how bold. I'm not sure he knows the answer to that yet. If Trump follows through, his innermost White House circle would shrink from a loop to a straight line of mid-30s family members and scant governing experience, Jared and Ivanka. So while the fighting and leaking might ease, the problems may not, because it's the president, not the staff, calling the shots. So this is just a really interesting article to show the obstruction that's going on from his own cabinet and staff, and how there are numerous reports of insiders inside the White House saying that Trump is about to clean house. So I would love to see that. He's already made a great start getting rid of that piece of trash James Comey, who has no regard for our legal system and justice system, and continually was unwilling to prosecute or look at prosecuting Hilary Clinton for her numerous crimes against this country. Let's look at this one right here. Signs of oil boomlet in North Dakota after pipeline finished. This is out of the Associated Press. There are hundreds more jobs than takers in the heart of North Dakota's oil patch. Finding a hotel room, parking space, or table at a restaurant is no longer easy. More than 2 years after the state's unprecedented oil bonanza fizzled to a lull, North Dakota, the nation's number 2 oil producer behind Texas, is experiencing a sort of boomlet that has pushed daily production back above 1 million barrels a day. There is a long-term optimism that was not here just a year ago, says Republican Senator Brad Beckedel, whose western North Dakota district is the epicenter of the state's oil-producing region. Industry officials and others say the uptick comes from a bump in crude prices, regulatory certainty with more drill-friendly Trump administration, better technology, and the prospect of nearly half of the state's crude coursing through the disputed Dakota Access Pipeline, which could open markets abroad where top prices are typically fetched. Though the pipeline still faces opposition from American Indian tribes and environmentalists who fear it threatens cultural sites and drinking water, Ron Ness, president of North Dakota Petroleum Council, calls it a game changer that opens up everything. The $3.8 billion pipeline, expected to be fully operating next month, opens up the possibility for North Dakota oil to be sold on the world market, where industry officials say it could earn several dollars more per barrel. Shippers also can save about $3 per barrel moving the oil by pipeline rather than using mile-long trains that have carried North Dakota crude to the Gulf Coast since 2008. We can compete with the world, said Ness, whose group represents several hundreds of companies working in the North Dakota's oil patch. At capacity, the Dakota Access Pipeline will be able to transport half the daily crude production from North Dakota's Bakken oil fields to Illinois. From there, the crude will be put into another pipeline to the Gulf Coast, where it can be used at refineries or loaded onto tankers overseas. Trains will still be used to take North Dakota crude to other places in the U.S., though. The price for North Dakota sweet crude has risen about $10 a barrel from a year ago. And this is just why I've had to publicly take a new, fresh look at my stance on the Dakota Access Pipeline, and I have retracted my previous statement. I did start a GoFundMe page that didn't get a single dollar, but I was trying to send myself to the the Keystone Pipeline protests there in North Dakota, mainly just because I wanted to be on the ground to be reporting live and see what was actually going on. But now that I've actually seen what has happened and the amounts of waste and the garbage and the environmental fuck up that the activists have done there, I have reversed my stance on the thing, and I am actually now for the Keystone Pipeline and the Dakota Access Pipeline. And I honestly believe that based on the reports and the studies that have already been done, I truly don't believe it will affect the water supply, and I truly believe that the Trump administration would not stand for it affecting the water supply if it did turn out that it was. Let's look at this. I'm going to search this right now. Garbage Dakota protests. And this is a major reason why I've reversed my stance. Dakota Access Protest Camp. Crews haul off 48 million pounds of garbage and debris from the protest camps. North Dakota taxpayers foot a bill for $1 million restoration project after pipeline protesters leave behind 48 million pounds of garbage. So, honestly, this is what it comes down to. You think that you're helping something, but in the meantime, in the process, you've created 48 million pounds of garbage, that you have zero respect enough for the land to clean up after yourself and to clean up after each other, or to take responsibility for the land that you're supposed to be defending. So shut the hell up. Honestly, these activists, until you take responsibility for your own fucking garbage and your own trash and your own littering and your own just lack of respect for the real land and lack of respect for real change and actually standing for something, you know, until then, don't tell anybody else what they should do, and don't be out there protesting, because you are making the land worse, and that's just pathetic. This is from the Washington Times, which is more and more becoming a really great news source that I link to a lot. But yeah, that is from the Associated Press. Signs of oil boomlet in North Dakota after pipeline finished. Let's look at some more articles here. Let's see, what do we got? NewsChannel5.com, complaint filed to close sex club posing as church. This is from May 11th, just a couple of days ago. From News Channel 5, this is out of Nashville, Tennessee. The Metropolitan Government has filed a complaint seeking an injunction to permanently close a controversial swingers club in Madison. The complaint states that Freedom for All Incorporated is maintaining a public nuisance by permitting acts of lewd conduct and is in violation of city ordinances that prohibit operation of the club within 1,000 feet of a school. Affidavits reflect that a fee of $40 was charged for entry. The building housed 12 individual rooms, which all had doors and either a bed or a lounge chair of some type. Some rooms allowed viewing into the rooms also. Gibson and Earls observed patrons openly engaging in sexual conduct and intercourse in the rooms and the foyer. This is absolutely insane. Yes, there's a sex club being operated out of a supposed Christian church, and these undercover officers witnessed numerous acts of sex going on in rooms with viewing windows in them also. What a bunch of sick weirdos. Let's look at this one from MiamiHerald.com. 3 beachgoers injured at Crandon Park when parks officer runs them over. This is just a fucking really pathetic example of people with just horrible training and yeah. I mean, you're driving on a beach in your Ford F-150. I don't know how fast this idiot was going, but he took a turn over some hill and ran over 3 people's legs. The victims, a man, a boy, and a woman, sustained minor injuries. The woman was treated on the scene, and the 2 males were taken to the hospital as their legs were fucking run over by a police officer. That's just a small piece of news that I just wanted to cover, just for how insane and stupid it is. But let's go to this one right here from the Daily Mail. Tinder-style online dating apps. Oh, Shocking, lower your self-esteem. Really? I don't know why we even need fucking studies like this to tell people the most obviously blatant things that you could ever imagine. Tinder-style online dating apps lower your self-esteem and leave you upset about how you look. Wow, isn't that fucking interesting? Study found putting pictures online to be judged only leads to insecurity. Findings affect 9 million people in Britain who have used a dating site or app. The researchers found Tinder users were less satisfied with their face and body. Surprisingly, men on internet dating sites suffered from the lowest of self-esteem. Really? And women are wondering, and men are wondering why we have such a problem with people being able to go and approach women or men in public, because our self-esteem is so low and we treat ourselves so badly that we have to sit there and put our images out for hundreds of thousands of people to give us likes and give us thumbs up. And then know what happens when you don't get the likes and the thumbs up and the responses you want? Your self-esteem goes lower and lower and lower and lower. And then what do these people do? They start a trend, a cycle of going back to those sites to look for that security that they'll never get and that self-esteem that they'll never find. They just are going lower. And dating sites are awful. That's, not surprising at all. Let's look at this one right now. Another article from the Daily Mail. Kim Jong-un fires another ballistic missile that lands 60 miles from Russia. Just months after threatening Trump with nuclear war and days after a new president took office in South Korea, he shot another fucking missile 60 miles from Russia. Just provoking, poking the bear. This little piece of shit, this little guy with his diaper filled, really needs a diaper change, folks. Kim Jong-un fired a ballistic missile 500 miles into the Sea of Japan on Sunday. Launch took place in Kusong region located northwest of the capital, Pyongyang. U.S. officials said it landed in the water 60 miles south of Russia's Vladivostok region. President Donald Trump said he cannot imagine that Russia is pleased. Japan's defense minister said it could have been a new type of ballistic missile. Expert estimated that it had a range of 3,700 miles, capable of reaching Hawaii. The launch is the first in 2 weeks since the last attempt ended in failure. So this is pretty troubling. Once again, just trying to provoke and poke the bear. That little diaper-wearing Kim Jong-dum is still provoking the U.S., Russia, and South Korea. Here's one from Yahoo.com. Protesting pensioners scuffle with police in Venezuela as socialist society continues to collapse into the ground. This is from Caracas. Elderly protesters braved pepper spray and scuffles with riot police on Friday as they marched in the latest anti-government protests in Venezuela. Yeah, this is from the people who voted for socialism and Hugo Chavez, and then they got him in power, and then what happened? They are protesting what they asked for, because socialism doesn't work. It is not good for you or for the people, and that's why they are being pepper sprayed in riots all over Venezuela, eating animals out of zoos, arresting bakers, and confiscating bread. I mean, this place is a hellhole, and that is what socialism brings, and nothing else. With wheelchairs and walking sticks or on their feet shouting and waving their fists, some 2,000 demonstrators challenged police who blocked their way in central Caracas and fired pepper spray to deter them. We do not want a dictatorship. We want to grow old with dignity, medicine, food, and freedom. Freedom! Yeah, well, guess what? We are trying to promote freedom here again in the U.S. I don't know if you realize that, but we do not want to be a socialist democracy. We want to be a republic of freedom. Defying calls for early elections, President Nicolas Maduro also rallied elderly supporters who yelled slogans in support of him and his late predecessor, Hugo Chavez. Goes on to say the health ministry on Wednesday released data showing deaths of infants under the age of 1 soared by 30% in 2016 and deaths of women linked to childbirth by 65%. Causes of malaria also rose by 76% to more than 240,000 people. And this is happening in Venezuela right now. Hospital shortages. Hospitals and protesters are complaining of severe shortages of medical supplies from an economic crisis that has fueled opposition calls for early elections. What about this? Deadly unrest broke out on April 1st. Security forces have fired tear gas and water cannons at protesters who have hurled stones, petrol bombs, and excrement. So we have an ultimate degeneration of society when the socialist population is throwing excrement at their government. Oh man, you cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. This is where socialist governments go to. Oh man. Oh, so insane. Let's go to this one right now. Again, this is Radio Bravery Live. We are doing a pretty long show. I'm just kind of rambling. We're 27 minutes in. YouTube.com/RadioBravery. Please join us live. Subscribe today. I'm your host, Justin Bellshaw. You can also find me Facebook.com/RadioBravery. YouTube.com/RadioBravery. And then the beta site is radiobravery.wixsite.com/news. Here's one from Russia Today, RT.com. Leaked NSA exploit blamed for global ransomware cyber attack. A zero-day vulnerability tool covertly exploited by U.S. intelligence agencies and exposed by the Shadow Brokers hacking group has been blamed for the massive spread of malware that infected tens of thousands of computer systems globally. The ransomware virus, which extorts Windows users by blocking their personal files and demanding payment to restore access, allegedly exploits a vulnerability that was discovered and concealed for future use by the NSA. Our analysis indicates the attack, dubbed WannaCry, is initiated through a SMBv2 remote code execution in Microsoft Windows. This exploit, codenamed Eternal Blue, has been made available on the internet through Shadow Brokers dump on April 14, 2017. Russian cybersecurity firm Kaspersky Lab wrote in a blog post about the attack. Although Microsoft had already patched the backdoor roughly a month before it became public, many users who did not install the latest security updates seem to have become the primary victims of the attacks. WikiLeaks tweeted out, note, the current hospital ransomware directly relates to computer viruses produced by the NSA, not to WikiLeaks' CIA Vault 7 series. Note, meanwhile, NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden has led the discussion on NSA's role and responsibility in Friday's extensive cyber attacks, noting that if the NSA had privately disclosed the flaw used to attack hospitals when they found it, not when they lost it, this may have not happened. Edward Snowden tweeted out, if NSA builds a weapon to attack Windows XP, which Microsoft refuses to patch, and it falls into enemies' hands, should NSA write a patch, ? Yes, they probably should. That's kind of their responsibility and their fucking job at the NSA. Security. Yeah, National Security Agency. So, yes, absolutely. You're totally right, Edward Snowden. That is their fucking job, and they didn't do it. Let's jump a little bit ahead here on Radio Bravery Live. WallStreetJournal.com, WSJ.com. Cybersecurity experts' first task: find out how the virus spread. Investigators think a computer outlet isn't supposed to be connected to the internet was a possible vector for WannaCry. But here at the Wall Street Journal, they are dropping in readers and viewers because they don't allow you to read their full story anymore or to share their articles. You have to buy into it. You have to subscribe. So I get about a 1 minute or a 1 sentence clip here on the article. Cybersecurity experts first task find out how virus was spread. So yeah, we can't read that to you, unfortunately, but it's okay. It's just very fake news, so don't worry about it. Here's one from the Washington Times. Bill O'Reilly vows big story coming on Fox ouster. Details will expose left-wing cabal. Former cable news giant Bill O'Reilly told radio host Glenn Beck on Friday that a big story is coming regarding his ouster from Fox News. Fox News Channel and Bill O'Reilly parted ways after 20 years in April as controversy swirled around legally settled sexual harassment claims. The best-selling author granted his first interview to the Glenn Beck program to discuss his upcoming plans. Look, this was a hit, Mr. O'Reilly said, and in the weeks to come, we're going to be able to explain some of it. And it has to do with just destroying voices that the far left and the organized left-wing cabal doesn't like. So that's the general tone. So we'll continue to cover that here on Radio Bravery Live to see what Bill O'Reilly decides to leak about why he was ousted from Fox News. I mean, I'm sure it's probably not much of a dispute that Bill O'Reilly probably did settle sexual harassment cases. But once again, you know, we want all the truth, not just a little bit of it here on Radio Bravery Live. So, you know, I don't just settle for, oh yeah, he was ousted because of this. Because he was doing this for 20 years, folks. Why was he ousted now is the question. What did he know? What was going on behind the scenes? We all know Bill Clinton was a rapist, but no one's ousting him. We all know he settled, I believe, at least a dozen sexual harassment or assault cases. That's Bill Clinton, so we'll just keep covering that and find out what happens with news surrounding Bill O'Reilly and why he was ousted from Fox News. Here is an article from dailycaller.com. I've been covering a lot of articles like this lately, actually. Violence and intimidation against Republicans are becoming the new normal. In one of the most recent incidents, police in Tennessee charged a woman with felony reckless endangerment on Thursday for allegedly trying to run Republican Congressman David Kusoff off the road after a town hall. The woman, Wendy Wright, was reportedly enraged over Kusoff's support for the American Health Care Act and screamed at the congressman and his aides, striking his car windows and reaching inside the vehicle. The same day that the Tennessee police charged Wright for reckless endangerment, police in North Dakota escorted an enraged man from another town hall after he became physical with Republican Representative Kevin Cramer over his support for the GOP Obamacare replacement. Will the rich benefit from if the health care is destroyed? Do the rich get a tax break? Yes or no? The man shouted before shoving cash down the congressman's collar. There you go, take it. These pathetic people physically shut down their opposition and physically attack people. What the fuck is wrong with people that politics has gotten to physically attacking people? Man, if your argument is so good, you should never need to physically attack anyone ever. Use your brain. Use your brain, you idiots. You idiot losers. Losers. This is such a loser move. When you can't win, stop the opposition. When you're losing and you are down and you are just drastically trying to crawl back up, please, I'm gonna attack you, punch people. You are pathetic. pathetic. You can't even use your own brain. You can't even use the 8 little cells you've got in there. You can't even help to stop the atrophy that's going on in here. You just want to slap people and stop people. Physical violence. Grow the fuck up, people. This is America. This is planet Earth, and you are over the age of 25. You should fucking act like it. You children throwing tantrums. Look at this fucking, all these are people over the age of 30 going out and screaming and attacking physically their congressmen. What the hell is wrong with you? This is not going to help anything. You're going to go to jail. You're going to look like a piece of shit. And the congressman is going to still keep having their job and doing whatever they want. You didn't fix anything. You didn't do anything. You made yourself look like a total dumbass. You made your movement unsubstantiated, and you've lost all credibility. So this crazy mentally ill left that thinks that attacking people physically or stopping people from their opinions or saying them out loud is going to help you. You are discrediting yourself and nothing else. It's just so ridiculous. But this article from the Daily Caller goes on for more and more numerous examples. Yeah, there's so many examples. There's also videos on here of people being attacked. Just go watch it for yourself. Violence and intimidation against Republicans are becoming the new normal. That's thedailycaller.com. Now let's look at this one right here from the Washington Free Beacon, freebeacon.com. Alt-left targets IPI. Members of violent protest group organize events in FCC chairman's neighborhood. Once again, these people can't use their brain, they can't use their idea, they can't use politics because they have none. They have no brain. They have no fucking ideas. They have no fucking stances. They just have an echo chamber that they live in, and they just repeat like mockingbirds everything that they hear. And they think that they're strong because they're in a pack mentality like a bunch of animals. Like a bunch of pathetic, hypocritical animals. Members of the alt-left with a history of participating in violent protests are targeting the neighborhood of FCC Chairman Ike Pye. The organizers connected to Disrupt J20 and Code Pink said they are taking the fight to Pye's front door, leaving leaflets on the doors of Pye's neighborhood last weekend to protest the Obama administration's net neutrality policy. On Sunday, the activists will again target Pye's neighborhood, this time with a vigil to save the internet. Join us Sunday for Save the Internet, Net Neutrality. This is completely legal action. We will stand on the sidewalk outside of his house. Bring signs, slogans, bring your mom, your kids, your family, and harass a man outside of their home because of their political stances and their job. Why is it acceptable for you to go to a person's private home and harass them and their family because you don't agree with their fucking opinion? I would not do that to you. I would not go to someone's home and stand outside their private home and harass them. I mean, I wouldn't do that to Barack Obama, and that guy's a piece of shit. But it just shows the level of disrespect, the lack of morals, the lack of any real argument. All these people can do is physically harass people outside of their house. Good for you. You are discrediting yourself and discrediting your movement, and you have no stance. These leftists have no stance. Let's look at this article from ntknetwork.com. Hillary Clinton launches unlimited dark money group. The failed presidential candidate bemoaned dark money on the campaign trail, but now she's launching a new 501c34. Two-time failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton officially launched a new organization on Monday, Onward Together, with the stated goal of advancing the vision that earned nearly 66 million votes in the last election, Put more bluntly, the group's mission is to advance Clinton's agenda, which was unable to defeat Donald Trump. But buried on the donation page is this little nugget. Contributions or gifts to Onward Together, a 501c4 organization, are not tax deductible as charitable contributions or as business deductions. Contribution rules. Contributions or gifts to Onward Together, a 501c4 organization, are not tax deductible as charitable contributions or business deductions. If this contribution is from an individual, you are a U.S. citizen or lawfully admitted permanent resident in the United States. By contributing, you agree to become a member of Onward Together. By listing itself as a 501c4, Clinton is able to take so-called dark money or money from donors who legally do not have to be disclosed in unlimited amounts. In October 2015, during a town hall meeting in Iowa, Clinton called 501c4 groups unaccountable dark money and even used the left's favorite boogeyman, the Koch brothers, as an example of a group that operates this kind of organization. Fast forward a year and a half, and Clinton can count herself among the leaders of the unaccountable dark money groups. It's just the latest twist in a long political saga that has become the Clintons' hypocrisy legacy. So, Clinton has the ability to take unlimited dark money from anonymous sources, so we don't get to know publicly that it's all from George Soros. Oh, man. It is so pathetic that we just sit here and continue to watch this go on, and there's still plenty of dumb lemmings out there with their heads in the sand who are going to still support Hillary Clinton like a bunch of dumbasses. But that's okay. She's just going to take dark, unaccountable money that she campaigned against, and she's going to be one of the biggest leaders of that unaccountable dark money. So we'll just can't wait to see what she does with it. Just can't wait to see what she does to try to take down our country again. But you're going to keep losing, Hillary, because you're done. This is Radio Bravery Live. I am going to end this with yet another video from my favorite viral journalist, Paul Joseph Watson from Infowars.com. The video is entitled, "Idiots React to Man with Sign." Words cannot describe how retarded these people are. And this is such a really great video. Just like every fucking video Paul Joseph Watson does. Viral. Send it out today. Subscribe to Paul Joseph Watson on YouTube and Twitter. And please subscribe to Radio Bravery at YouTube as well. I need your support, and we need views to keep growing. And subscribers would be really great. We've got a whopping 15. So please help support me. Thank you so much. This is Radio Bravery Live. I'm your host, Justin Bellshaw. Let's swap this camera around here so I can show you the video here of Paul Joseph Watson's newest viral video. And so again, this is if I can get it here. Okay, so this is entitled "Idiots React to Man with Sign," and this is from Paul Joseph Watson at Infowars.com. I'm your host, Justin Bellshaw. This is Radio Bravery Live. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's watch this video right now.
And look at these courageous anti-fascists. What's his sign say? Must be something horrible, right? A swastika? Gas the Jews? Heil Hitler? The right to openly discuss ideas must be defended. Alright, turns out you guys are behaving like actual Nazis. Yeah, little tip, fellas. The good guys don't normally wear black masks covering their faces.
Have you noticed that our caps have actually got little pictures of skulls on them? I don't. Are we the baddies?
I'm still here. I'm still here and I'm still standing up for open discussion.
Why are you defending it? No Nazis! No Nazis! Saving facts! You've got anything No! No platform for racism! No platform for homophobia! This is all about fuck off! Yeah, fascist!
Yeah, little history lesson, love. Those Nazis that you hate so much. Funny coincidence, because it turns out they were into using intimidation to shut down free speech. You know, exactly like you're doing to this guy.
Nazi! Nazi! Nazi!
I believe in open
white supremacy. No platform. Shame on you.
Look at you, white man.
You're fucking a white male.
We try to intimidate people out of speaking based on their skin colour because we're anti-racists.
A platform.
May I respond?
No, I'm not interested.
I believe in open
I don't care what you believe. I believe in Nazis.
I don't care what you believe, I'm just going to keep repeating the word Nazi over and over again because I'm functionally retarded and don't have an actual argument.
Nazi. Everyone just cover him. Just cover his shit.
Everyone just cover him, then we won't have to collectively activate our 6 brain cells to have an actual discussion. Wait, where the hell did Jeremy Corbyn come from? You're not welcome here. We're tolerant progressives.
They are socially conscious citizens and are provoked by the loathsome presence of an unmutual.
They are sheep.
I mean, we literally employ the tactics of actual fascists, but we're so dumb that if we feign enough righteous indignation, we can delude ourselves into thinking we have the moral high ground.
You are not welcome here. Go away. Excuse me.
Physically push him away. Physically violence against him. Always.
Go away.
Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Fuck off, Nazi scum.
Nazi scum off our street! Nazi scum off our street! Nazi scum off our street!
Nazi scum off our streets! Nazi scum off our streets! Yeah, if that actually happened, the guy with the sign would be the only person left on the frigging street, because you're the actual Nazis.
Nazi!
Are we the baddies?
What could be more triggering to libtards than my face and this slogan? Get your new premium quality "Conservatism is the new counterculture" t-shirt right now at InfoWarsStore.com and let the butthurt commence.
Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of Radio Bravery Live. I will be back very soon with a lot more news, and a lot more truth. Thank you so much for empowering yourself. Follow the headlines, drain the swamp, and don't forget, Russia did it. YouTube.com/RadioBravery. Subscribe today. Russia did it. Drain the swamp.